Battlefield 5 has been criticised as a game that's quite light on content at launch, and more specifically, it's been criticised for pushing back content into the post-launch support system called the Tides of War. Features like soldier dragging, vehicle cosmetic customization, and the entire co-op segment were delayed, which did annoy quite a lot of fans. But I still think there are further features currently missing from Battlefield 5. DICE has said they're working to implement a lot of things, like being able to customize your weapons during rounds, change assignments during rounds, and lots of other quality of life fixes, but here are 7 more features that DICE needs to add to Battlefield 5. Firstly, and perhaps most importantly, and especially when it comes to community engagement, I think DICE needs to address the calls for rental servers for Battlefield 5. The rental server program added to Battlefield 1 post-launch left a lot to be desired, lacking several features that Battlefield 4 had available. Battlefield 4 provides us with a great picture of what smaller groups and clans want from a rented server system. They want customizability, they want flexibility, and they just want complete control of their experience. If these smaller groups of players like a certain playstyle or a section of the Battlefield experience, and can run a server that provides them with that every single time they launch the game, carving out their own section within the ecosystem of a Battlefield title, those players are more likely to continue returning to that game, increasing the value the game offers. Now, for Battlefield 5, I don't see DICE returning to a third-party server provider setup, as was the case with Battlefield 4, but instead I expect to see a step forwards from Battlefield 1. And when I say a step forwards, what I'd like to see is a meteoric leap forwards. Certain elements of controlling Battlefield 1 servers required you to be in-game, which was a ridiculous oversight. External control needs to be offered so that server admins can actually run their servers effectively. Having to load into servers in order to solve issues is hardly a great user experience, and perhaps returning to a system that uses a fully external program or an app might be advisable. At any rate, DICE and EA simply needs to come forward at this point and share their plans for rented servers in Battlefield 5, and just let the community know what to expect and what the starting point is going to be. It's been mentioned a couple of times in previous DICE live streams that there are plans to do something, but right now the team is not ready to talk about it. In my opinion, the time for talking about it was before the launch of the game, and any announcement now I think will be met with relief rather than excitement, and that's not the scenario you really want. Sometimes the vanilla experience the development team provides with its map and game mode rotations doesn't always suit certain sections of the community. Giving them the tools to run their own setups and rules will give those players more incentive to keep coming back, because they know they're going to have an experience that they enjoy every single time they boot up the game. The second thing that's missing from Battlefield 5, in my opinion, is the ability to vote on maps after rounds have finished. I've seen some players discussing the benefits and drawbacks of a feature like this, but with Battlefield 5 being built quite heavily around matchmaking rather than around the server browser, that thing is more hidden than ever, the benefits of having a map vote system are quite strong here. Similarly to giving players custom server tools on a rented server, map voting would allow players to dictate the rotation of maps on a server rather than being subjected to the standard rotation that DICE has implemented, which after a few weeks of playing can become a little bit monotonous if it's not changed. Voting on maps breaks things up a little bit, and clear patterns of preferred maps on certain game modes will surface. That could lead to changes down the line by the development team to improve certain game modes or improve certain maps on different game modes. With Battlefield 5 also not splitting up the player base with segmented map packs, all maps are going to be added to the game for free, the overall pool of maps will grow and grow, leading to longer and longer rotations. If you don't play from the start to the end of the rotation, you're likely going to miss a lot of maps. A map vote will hopefully throw up maps with equal chance of being shown all the way through, and the rotation issue is essentially eliminated. The third thing that's missing, having just spoken a lot about map and mode rotations, is an addition to the server browser that allows you to see the progress of a match before you join it. Battlelog for Battlefield 3 and 4 had this feature, showing the ticket counts for a round of conquest, or how many tickets the attackers had left in a round of Rush. It would also give you a real-time scoreboard and a timer left for the game mode as well. A lot of the time I use the server browser to specifically join a map that I want to play on, and the last thing I want to happen is to join into a nearly finished round. And in Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5, that happens quite a lot because you have no visibility of how the game mode is progressing on the server you're about to join through the server browser. It would be a really great feature to bring in around the same time as rental servers as well. The two things kind of go hand in hand here. Number 4 on my list includes a few smaller elements, but they're all to do with your player profile and certain elements of progression. And I want to give credit here to Danny on PC for listing these things in a reply to a tweet I sent out. So here we go. Previous Battlefield games allowed you to see who you killed with melee weapons by listing their gamer tag underneath the dog tag on the dog tag screen. This is a feature that Battlelog utilised for Battlefield 3 and 4, and with the amount of dog tags in those games, there were quite a lot of them, more often than not with some of the rarer dog tags, you'd find you'd never kill a player wearing one, or only 1 or 2 people wearing some of those rarer dog tags. You wouldn't get to keep the dog tag by taking it from an enemy, but instead, you'd have the kill as part of your record. It's sort of an extra layer beyond just getting the kill. You actually get the player's name that you killed on your record. I'd also like to emblazon my weapon with something other than the Union Jack or the German Iron Cross. At the moment, Battlefield 5 doesn't appear to support custom emblems, even though Battlefield 1, 4 and Hardline did. I'd like my Westie logo back, thank you very much. Then there's service stars. They're missing from Battlefield 5 as well. Those provided a lot of free progression back in the day with Battlefield 3 and 4 with so many weapons in the game. You just work your way up through the service star levels, 100 kills per service star, and maybe you just wanted to reach 500 kills so you could master the weapon and then unlock a dog tag for it. Service stars should return, but I think they've been replaced by the weapon ranks that are now in Battlefield 5. The weapon ranks dictate what unlocks you get for it, what skins you get for it, and a whole host of other things, but it caps out at 10. It doesn't go any higher than that, so it'd be great if DICE could just remove that cap or put it at 100 and let us keep using the weapon and then maybe show what the rank of the weapon is on the kill cam so other players can see how much time you've put in with that weapon. I think that'd be really cool. Medals have also returned to Battlefield 5 the way they were in Battlefield 4, but with one limitation. They can only be achieved once. Remove that cap please DICE and let us collect the medal multiple times. Also, some more medals to match more actions in game would be welcome as well. And finally, I'd like to see a ribbons menu. You can achieve ribbons in game, but you can't see them anywhere in the front end menu system. DICE please, what's going on there? Another feature that I've seen players asking for is weapon inspection. Much like CSGO and Call of Duty, Battlefield does have some rather awesome and in some cases wacky looking weapon skins, and it'd be nice to see those in action during matches in a sort of animation where the gun is sort of held up in front of you. A feature like this adds absolutely nothing to gameplay whatsoever, but DICE does plan to support this game with cosmetic microtransactions. It might be a good idea to have a proper inspect weapon feature in game, and perhaps within the menus as well. That would be really nice. You can already see the skins being applied in the menus when you change them, but you can't turn off the HUD and then move the weapon around to really get a proper look. You can on PC with a console command, but that's not quite the same as maybe having a button that turns the HUD off for you. A small change, but one I think could help DICE as much as it would please players. Number 6, a really nice feature I think would go down well with players would be the ability to save soldier clothing and weapon skin presets. Rather than having to change outfits piece by piece per map depending on the setting, it'd be cool if there were some presets for snow maps, desert maps and countryside maps, so that you could set your outfit, jump into the menu quickly and apply it before a round starts, and then spawn in as a soldier with clothing on that you want for that map. Maybe having some custom preset places as well, so if you don't care about camouflage, you could just apply the preset that you've already made and you're good to go as well. This would go hand in hand with the new Apply All Skin Parts option that DICE is implementing into Battlefield 5 with the December update. Rather than having to apply each piece separately, you simply select the name of the skin that you want to apply, hit Apply All, and the game will apply all the parts of the skin you own to the weapon, saving you a lot of time in the menu. And number 7, to round things off, this is just a small thing, but I think it could have a big impact on gameplay: a crouch icon built into the in-game HUD. I'd love to see it implemented next to the ammo counter, so I'm able to tell if I'm crouched or crouch running without having to hit the key to check if that's what I'm doing. I've been killed a few times since launch where I couldn't tell if I was crouch running or normal running, so I hit the button to check, I stood up tall, and I got shot from someone behind cover. And running around the maps, I see a lot of people crouch running in situations where they wouldn't need to crouch run, and it kind of makes me think like they've forgotten that they've turned that on and they haven't toggled it back off again. It's annoying sometimes being killed when you pop out of crouch when you didn't mean to because you didn't realise and you're trying to check whether you were, so having a small icon next to the ammo counter to show if you were crouched would eliminate that frustration. Now, I am fully aware there will be many other things that you all feel should be added to the game, so I'd encourage you to leave your suggestions down below in the comments today. You never know who might be reading them. Bear in mind, however, I specifically left things out that we already know are coming, so don't spam things like co-op, more maps, more weapons, and general things in the comments. Leave some proper suggestions for features or content that you'd like to see. Thank you very much for watching today, and until next time, my name is Westie, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.